Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This is an FPL Game Week 16 team selection. In this video, we're going to be going through what happened in Game Week 15, a bit of a train wreck, if I do say so myself, and then looking into Game Week 16 top picks, captaincy choices, and all of that. So stay tuned. Yelena, I feel like we were just here recording, and it's because we weren't just a couple of days ago because of this crazy game week. If you guys hear barking, it's just like both of our dogs sending each other off through the video. But how's it going? How are you?
Yeah, it's really good, thank you. I'm so sorry. I have one dog in the room, one dog downstairs, and then it's set your dog off as well. So hopefully they will be quiet for the next 15 to 20 minutes. But I know this game week has come around so quickly, and I feel like so much has changed as well. We'll obviously get into the injury news and benching headaches and things, but there's a lot to navigate, I think, over the next couple of game weeks.
There is a lot to navigate. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. And so this is my Game Week 15 team. I had the exact number of points to not get a red arrow, which was fantastic. There really wasn't so much to go off of. I was super annoyed that I lost the double Newcastle clean sheet in the last 10 minutes or so, and then they just lost 3-0. But the stars of my team were Palmer yet again, getting a goal from open play, wasn't a penalty this time, and then Bowen as well. I'm super happy that I didn't sell him because a week or two ago, everybody was selling Bowen and telling me I'll sell Bowen for Mbeumo. Obviously, Mbeumo's gotten injured now, and I held on to him. I was like, I don't know, something in my gut is just telling me to hold on to Bowen, and he delivered. But apart from that, it was just like a bit of a nightmare all around. I was super surprised as well that Salah didn't get anything in that game, so that was a bit disappointing. But yeah, I'm glad I broke even at least. What about you? You're on 37 points this week.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just having an absolute nightmare with this dog. I am so jealous of you because you remained really, really patient. You went with your gut instincts. You didn't take out Watkins. You then got his haul. Same things happen now with Bowen. You've just done so well. And I think you're getting green arrows as well week after week. So well done, because patience is absolutely key with FPL. My team, I'm pleased with how it went. I'm really pleased I brought in Palmer. You were ahead of the game on that one. So I'm glad I finally joined the bandwagon. And it's interesting now that Mbeumo's out, everyone is now bringing in Palmer or Gordon. So I think, sadly, where he was your differential before, now the ownership is just going to carry on rising. But for good reason, because he is getting returns so often now. Saka, obviously, I was thinking about transferring him out recently, and I'm really pleased that I didn't. He managed to get a return. The Salah captaincy cracks me up because last in our video, what did we discuss captaincy for about 5 minutes? No, for 5 minutes.
Oh, let's go Saka.
We were like, yeah, as a joke. And then Salah, we were like, it's obvious this week, so we won't really go into it. And then he comes away with 3 points. It was so disappointing. And then Darwin has continued to be frustrating, which I knew what I was getting myself into as a Darwin owner, but I did expect him to haul at some point. So I think he's got one more week in my team, and then I might have to look at moving him on.
I know, but I tell you, you have Darwin, and every week I'm like, this is the week that he's going to haul and completely destroy my rank. And same with Son as well. I'm like, oh, should I get Son into my team? And I'm like watching the Spurs games, biting my nails because he is getting into good positions, and he didn't haul this week either. But I think you have a good team. You know, it's like with Darwin especially, it's just a bit unfortunate. Like, you look at the underlying data and he's doing really well.
Yeah, on paper, he's a great pick. And it's interesting what you were saying about Son, because I was peer pressured into bringing him in on my wild card, which sounds ridiculous. But when you go on Twitter and everyone has him, and then you show people your team, and then they go, where's Son? And I was like, I need to bring him in. I had him for, I think, 1 game week, and I took him out. And every Spurs match I'm watching, and luckily a lot of his goals are being disallowed, which is so frustrating for Spurs, for Son owners. But it's such a relief, and I feel like we've really dodged a bullet so far not having him. And there is going to be a time he'll get a brace or something, but I can kind of swallow it now over the last couple of game weeks. And I think the midfield, there are so many good options now. It's not really making a huge sacrifice going without him.
That's the thing, and I quite like my midfield, and so I'm like, who do I lose? Because I don't want to lose Bowen, I don't want to lose Palmer, I don't want to lose Gordon, so that leaves Saka, and Saka's been returning as well. So like, who are you realistically going to bring in? So that's been my dilemma. Speaking of Palmer, that's my transition for our game. We both didn't get any points last week. The chat got 3 points for the Darwin assist. They're absolutely killing it. And so I created this graphic very, very quickly. And so I needed to think fast. So I went for a very obvious choice, which is what we've already talked about, that we've seen a lot of people go for, which is Mbeumo out to Palmer. I'm sad because I literally owned Palmer when he was under 4% owned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I've had him for ages, and now everybody's bringing Palmer into the team. So the secret's out, but I'm proud of myself. I feel like that's low-key been like a pick of the season, and I've gotten quite of it super early. I will never stop talking about this because who knows the next time this will happen. So I went for Palmer. Honestly, I don't know how Chelsea are going to do versus Everton.
Oh, the last game. Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
So
we've been doing so. I feel like we've had 2 games where they have been the game of the season. We've been amazing. We've like any expectations exceeded. Fantastic. And then a game that I actually was quite confident going into. I mean, our record against United, you highlighted in your recent video, not the best. Very rarely win. But I had seeing how United have been playing this season. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine. It was awful.
No, but that's the thing. I was super hesitant because I knew that we hadn't beaten United since like 2017, 2018. So I was like, they haven't been playing well for years. Where every time they play us, like we play them when they're at their worst, and then they like pull up against us. So now that Everton beat Newcastle beat us, I'm like, Archie, now my dog's going off.
So it begins.
It begins. But talk us through your pick in case Archie starts barking.
So I've gone for Cash Out and Ben Mee in. Ben Mee last season was one of my favourite defenders to own. He was very, very attacking. And Brentford, defensively, like fine. They're not horrendous. But we obviously saw him against Luton the game week before last. And I think he got a goal and an assist. I think it was a 14-pointer, actually. He did so well. And Matty Cash, he's just really awful. Like there's no clean sheets. He had his attacking returns at the start of the season. We haven't seen that for weeks, and now he's being benched as well. So I just think it's a no-brainer, really. Matty Cash to Ben Mee.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought in, I'll get into my team in a sec, but I'm looking for a defensive replacement. So I was like, okay, taking note of this one. And then for the chat, again, I'm so sorry. We haven't had time for voting because I've been out the entire day. But Darwin to Jesus, what do you make of this one? You mentioned potentially giving Darwin one more week in your team.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because with Arsenal, what was the score when they played? Didn't they score 4 goals? And I feel like I put a lot of emphasis on Saka being kind of the main creator and obviously being in penalties. We've seen him give them away this season. And now Jesus is back. I think he might be overlooked by quite a few managers, but I'd quite like to double up on Arsenal attack. And I think I don't want to use up a midfield spot because like we've just said, there are so many good midfield options, because I would be tempted by Odegaard, Martinelli, but I think Jesus is a really nice forward option, and I think he's more reliable than Darwin is, and also I think his minutes are probably more secure than Darwin's too.
Yeah, it's a really interesting pick, and whenever he's been fit, I've always been looking for ways to get him into my team as well. So it could potentially lead to some benching headaches, which makes it interesting. Game weeks at least. So let's get into my game week 16 team. I need your help, Yelena, because I really don't know what to do. So I was a bit ahead of the curve somehow I kind of took the risk and I transferred out Areola for Dubravka because I was like, I don't know. I feel like the 0.2 is going to like go well for me at some point. Maybe it helps me. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I took the risk. It didn't pay off, but Areola's been flagged as injured. So I kind of saved a transfer there. And now I really like my team. The position that I'm looking at is maybe Simicast. I know that he just got rested. He didn't come on. So I'm thinking this game week he should be safe, hopefully. But he's kind of like the player that I'm looking to get out of my team. And I don't quite know who to bring in. I know a lot of people are looking at Chelsea assets, and both of us being Chelsea fans, maybe it'd be good to talk about it. That Chelsea have a really good run of fixture. Well, like on paper, good run of fixtures coming up, playing Everton away, Sheffield, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Luton, Fulham. So on paper, it's all green fixtures, but we saw how Chelsea played. We touched on that versus United. And Everton are looking really strong. I think that Chelsea might struggle, and we've kind of seen over the course of this season, last season and this season, with the easier teams that they sit back, Chelsea struggle to break them down. They counter, score a goal, and then defend that goal. And that's kind of been like the theme over the past year or so. And so I was thinking, do I bring in perhaps a Colwell into my team? But I'm not completely sold on that Chelsea defense.
I feel as though Chelsea's upcoming fixtures are too good to be true. And I don't know whether we're just more pessimistic, but it happened at the start of the season. We had a couple of games where we did okay, and then everyone jumped on the Chelsea assets. And then now hardly anyone has Jackson or Sterling in their team. We've let the team down. So I would be tempted. I think Colwell would be my number one choice. I really wish I was in a position to feel confident at bringing James back in. But it's just this season, I feel so bad for him because it's been an absolute disaster. And even when he was fit, he ended up with a red card. And you just think, this guy can't catch a break. But it's annoying because I think over the years in FPL, he's been one of the best defensive assets to have, hands down. And then it's just all kind of crumbled. So I think I would probably avoid Chelsea for now, unless the next few game weeks we suddenly see clean sheets. Because defensively, yes, we're not winning and we are conceding. But we're not getting completely obliterated on a regular basis, which is not the most glowing review to give for your team. But when we're 10th in the table, it's slim pickings, isn't it? So I hate it. I check the table because someone said about Man U climbing up. And I was like, where are Chelsea? And I didn't even look beyond 6th. And then I was like, oh, yeah, no, we're 10th.
Yeah, like, no, it was rough when we had to like scroll to the second half of the table. Like, I'm like, at least we're in the first half of the table now. But yeah, I totally agree. I think for me, Colwell or any Chelsea defensive asset is a bit of a watch. I'd like to see how they come back against Everton, and then maybe I'll consider bringing them in. So
I think you might be in a position to, because I think the likelihood of Simicast playing is quite high. I think you're in a position to roll, wait for some more information. And then I think the thing that I'd target first in your team would be Lamptey. But I don't know. It's really tough because I think Simicast... Yeah, just shove him on. That's the thing. And then he's just a bench warmer. But I think you're in a position where you could just roll and probably be quite confident with it.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say as well, that I think for this game week, I'm going to roll it and then kind of see if there's any defensive option. I was thinking maybe Pedro Porro from Spurs. Like, he's caught my eye. My friend has Pau Torres as well, and it's like done pretty good for him. I was thinking even maybe a United defender. Like, they've actually, even though they haven't been playing well, they've actually kept quite a few clean sheets. So I was thinking, like, do I bring in a Dallo or something like that? But I'm just not sold, and I'm really trying this year to be more patient. And it hasn't always worked out, but I feel like a bit better about the strategy of like, okay, let me wait and see. I want to be sure about it instead of just getting stuck with somebody. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
I think the key thing with you as well is you're being patient and you're not panicking. It's just like, okay, we'll wait and see. Rather than now, you could be like, okay, I'm going to rip apart my team. I'm going to replace this person, and then you wouldn't have had Bowen, you wouldn't have Watkins, which is the mistakes that I've made. So we're at like opposite ends of the spectrum at the moment.
No, but you're doing amazing this season. You're doing amazing. But let's get into your team and see. You've taken a -4 this week.
Talking of being patient.
But you've brought in Trent, and I'm so freaking jealous because I looked like, can I somehow fit in Trent? And unless I take out Trippier, I can't. But basically, because I have Bowen, I can't fit Trent. And I think that's a fantastic pick. So walk us through it.
So I have taken out Mbommo for Willian. And one of the biggest issues with my team for the last 2 game weeks was I tore it up to bring in Mbommo. And that was more chasing the template, which I'm quite anti with like fantasy football. And you'll know I'll have my picks. I'll have like McGinn, Ben Mee last season, where I'm really excited about them. And the last 2 game weeks, I've just felt quite flat about them. And even when I've got points, I'm like, oh, okay, it's nice, but there's nothing I'm that excited about. So I thought I'm going to go for Willian. We've got a little throwback to Chelsea, which is exciting. Obviously, Fulham had a fantastic game this game week. And I'm not expecting to get that every single game week. But I just thought he was a really fun pick. I was torn between Willian and Andreas, but I thought I had Andreas in my team last year. I'll try something new with Willian. They're the same price. So if Andreas keeps getting assists and is being more attacking, then obviously I can just do a transfer to him. And then obviously I've got Trent, which I'm really excited about. And the logic behind it is at the moment, my team is just not getting clean sheets no matter who I have. So I'm going for the most attacking defenders, and Trent is 8 million. So it's a higher price point. But I haven't got Son. I haven't got a third expensive forward. And I have got that money. I've still got 2.1 million in the bank with this. No, I don't actually. I think, no, I didn't update it.
I was going to say, like, how do you still have
How has she done this? Let me check my team. I've got 0.2, I think.
Okay.
But I've got the flexibility. Oh, no, I've got 0.5. Oh,
what?
Bags.
How
I've got loads in the bank.
This?
Confirmation. I don't know if you can see.
It's really small, but I'm sure people can zoom in. That's mad.
Yeah, which I'm very happy about. But I've got Wood I need to sort out. And Wood was my fun transfer when I brought in Mbommo. But Forest are just falling apart. I think they're going to go through a tough couple of weeks. I don't know what Cooper's future is going to be, whether they're going to stick with him, whether they're going to get someone else in. It's really, really hard. So I think Forest assets don't touch at the moment. So I need to take Wood out. And then long term, I think I would like to bring Watkins back and probably take out Darwin. So I've got quite a nice plan for the next 2 or 3 game weeks where I'm feeling quite settled. And I think I just need to not touch the team for a while and then assess where we are in 2 weeks' time.
That I'm still like, I still can't believe that you've gotten Trenton and you still have money in the bank. I'm just checking if I like put in Willian for Bowen, for example, and put in Trent, would I have money?
Well, another fun one, if you're feeling a bit wild, would be instead of Willian, going for Garnacho, because he's 4.7.
Oh, the thing is, like, I just don't want to take any of my midfielders out.
I know it's really tough, and I think I was quite happy when Mbommo got injured because it meant that I could play around with the midfield. Otherwise, I think I would have this 5 and probably until Salah goes off to AFCON. It would just be set.
Yeah, maybe I can bring Trent in when he goes out to AFCON.
Well, if Trippier picks up another yellow, he'll miss a game. You could always do a 1 week punt on Trent whilst he's out.
Yeah, could do. I checked. I do have money if I were to downgrade Bowen to Willian, but I'm sticking with Bowen. He's been too good to me, so I can't.
You've had him this long.
I've had him this long. Yeah, I was low-key hoping that Saka was kind of gonna tinker off because it would have made for an easy transfer. But he's done well, so I have to keep him in my team. Definitely. And in terms of captaincy, like you would think that Holland, Luton away, pretty obvious, but that's kind of been the story of the season, that each week we sit here and say, oh, this is surely the obvious captain choice. And alas, it is not. It is never the obvious captain choice.
I'm a bit nervous, I won't lie, because I don't think Palace defensively have been that great. And obviously I took out Gahey to bring in Trent, so I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about Palace. But the thing is, Haaland's not great away from home. And Luton at home recently are like another team. They seem to really step it up. Their home atmosphere must be insane because they're getting so close to actually having really like exciting games and high scoring games. So it could be that City go and then end up losing to Luton, which would be just our luck.
Are you gonna stick with Haaland captaincy though? Like, are you considering anybody else?
I'm trying to follow my gut instinct, and the initial instinct was Haaland. So I think 90% sure I will stick with Haaland. Salah is on my radar, but I think also with Liverpool is their goals are coming from everywhere. It's not just Salah now. It's really tough. I just want that player that everything revolves around him. And that's why I really like Gordon, because he's always involved in something. Whereas with Haaland and Salah, it's kind of all or nothing, which is really frustrating as an owner. What about you? Have you got a temptation?
I was honestly looking and I was like, do I go Bowen? Like, do I go
seen a few people say this.
Because they play Fulham away. He's done literally so good for me. So, but when he scores, it has usually been just the one goal. If Haaland and Salah both blank, that could be like crazy differential, but I don't think I have the guts to go for it, honestly. Yeah. So I think I'm probably just going to be boring and do Haaland captain.
I think at the moment, the size of your green arrows, just carry on playing the way you are. Kind of, you've got your differentials, but playing it safe with captaincy and things. And then when we get to sort of game week 20-ish, you can go wild. Because, I mean, remember last season, was it Wilson you captained? And
oh, yeah, that was like the craziest decision ever. I don't think I'll ever top that one.
No, that was ridiculous. But you'll have another one similar to that.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. I'm happy because I was at 4 million not so long ago, and I've gotten up to 1.2 mil.
Oh, wow.
In a couple of games
this week, break into top million.
I hope so, but it's nice because I've been playing my game. I've been trying to kind of like tune out what everybody's doing and just kind of play how I want to play. And I find that ends up helping me more than hurting normally. Or at least I'm happier because I'm like, at least I listen to my gut. Even if
I think that's the key thing. I think towards the end of the last season, you and I were both guilty of going with the crowd. And then was it who did we double up on? Do you remember? We got really annoyed at Ross because he recommended, was it Fernandez?
Oh, yeah. And
then we did get a return from him, and we were like, oh, okay, we can let Ross live again. Yeah. But we both got him out of our teams like as soon as possible. But that was entirely us looking at Twitter and going, oh, we need to get Fernandez when we didn't really want him.
Exactly. Yeah. So I started the season like that, and now I'm trying to play my own game. So I hope that allows you guys to play your games as well. And yeah, the dogs are about to go off. I know I have to take my dog for a walk and hopefully a little bit of a play day as well. But Yelena, thanks as always for hopping on. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys like our content, make sure to follow Yelena's channel because she does a ton of FPL content that's always brilliant. And while you're at it, like and sub to this channel as well. We hit 14K, so thank you so freaking much for that. Really, really appreciate it, and lots of fun content coming up. So guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this, and until next time around, bye.